On a jerk bait, you can do the jerk baits, or you can do drop shots, or you can do trolling. So a little bit on all of it right there. The other way we catch them in the Mr. Go is through a drop shot. Now, some of y'all may know what a drop shot looks like. Some people might not. This is a double drop shot right here, and basically what it is you got your line coming down. You get a T-knot at the first location, about 10 inches down, and a little 2-inch tag, and then you just use a regular straight hook there, and then you hook your bait through the nose, okay? And you come down about another 10 to 12 inches, and you do the same thing, okay? And you come down below that, and then you got basically a loop knot type thing where you can change out your weight if you have to have heavier weight. Typically depending on the current really, but typically in the ICW and the Mr. Go, we use somewhere around 3/4 of an ounce to an ounce, depending on how deep we are and how fast the current's moving.
What type of lures are those?
These are
what's that, salt strong
power prongs.
Yeah.
Power Prong Junior.
Yeah, power prong juniors with the chartreuse tail.
Why the head's black? Why the little eyes black?
That's just me. Ron and I paint them.
Right, that goes against everything I said.
Yeah, against everything the Chaz preaches that, but hey, we just paint them.
Wait,
You can do that when you retire.
Wait, Chaz, while we're there, they usually come natural color, but
Right.
they also sell the yellow tail, the chartreuse tail.
Right.
Why chartreuse?
Because it's just the most
How you
color
color?
in
What do you
the
color
fishing
with?
world.
What do you
Probably
color the heads
number one
with?
selling color
What did you
Well,
color?
one of the things, if you look at live shrimp, you'll see
Yeah,
that tail is that
That little hue.
chartreuse.
Sure.
Is that
Oh,
something?
yeah, here, y'all pass this around. We made this a few years ago, we beefed it up, but look at the tail on that. Because I agree with you, you got that little different color tail at the end of it.
Yeah.
Solid shrimp would have that.
Yeah.
You have this out, Chaz?
It'll be out in like a month probably.
So do
Maybe.
you need this one?
Not really. And look, stretch on that's that material and everybody's going to that indestructible stuff. Like you can pull it.
God, if I was breathing this.
Wait,
No,
how is
that's just, that's material.
Is it in the middle?
What do they call it? Last stack,
So there's a lot of different shrimp baits y'all can use. I mean, at times we put the Matrix Shad lemon drops on them. We call them lemon drops. So lemon heads. We'll use just depending. But as you watch this rest of this video here, you'll see that I started out with a power prong on one and then a chartreuse beagle on the other. And I caught 4 fish on the power prong, on the top to upper. So I changed it out and went to the power prong on the bottom, and guess what? They started hitting the bottom.
It doesn't matter.
So, you just got to play with it and see what they want,
How you color the eye? What do you use?
The eyes, we just use a marker, a Sharpie's marker to color the eyes with,
That's okay, don't worry about it.
And if you do, don't use the marker all around the eye, because then it will bleed.
Yes. Like, you notice these, when they stand straight out, with a little tide, they stand them like this, so that hook is standing up. It's not standing down. And that's going to depend on how you hook this thing through the eye there. But you want the hook standing up, like that. Okay? Was there any other questions about it? There's a lot of, you can YouTube it and find out, especially how to make these T-knots, The bottom, and then I'll put a little tension on it like that, so it's kind of standing up. And what I always like to do is first drop it like that. So I'll drop the bait, and then I'll pop it up, so that it kind of does a jerk and pop like that. And typically what I'll find is when I come down and then I come back up like that, they hit it, So that's just the way I like to fish it. You know, I'm sure there's multiple ways of fishing them, but you can watch the video and you'll see.
And again,
It's
if
a
you
very
go,
effective
if
way.
you go with the spot lock and you're fishing the ledge, you throw up on the top and then bring it down the ledge
Right.
and just twitch it
Yeah.
down.
In this video, you see we were sitting in 24 feet of water, and I was probably throwing up to about 16 feet or so, maybe 14 feet, and then just working it down as it comes down. I mean, we don't do this all year long. Drop shot mainly when we do it is strictly mostly in the wintertime. But what we're looking for is holes where the fish are, you know, piled up, and we're looking for ledges where they might be feeding them, you know. And it doesn't necessarily, when I say a ledge, it doesn't mean, you know, a straight drop off. It may be an incline ledge, but we're using the graphs and stuff to find them, and then we're utilizing the graphs to know where we're gonna actually try to locate them. So, you know, just don't go out there and cast it in 30 feet of water and think, hey, you know, it's gonna happen. You gotta find out where they hide. Okay?
Traps and then put essentially a Y and have just a small white jig trailer on the top and then the rattle trap on the bottom. And caught a lot of fish that way. So started trying this. As a matter of fact, I went with Stanley one time. I said, hey, let's try these rattle traps up against the rocks. So right there, Mr. Go on the rocks. So we're using these rattle traps, and Stanley hooked into a nice big speck. So I mean, you can use them sometimes if you don't have electronics, maybe just to find where the trap might be. But one of the techniques, again, is without having the lead line, if you let out, the more line you let out, the more they're going to go down and deeper. And when you start feeling it hit the bottom, then you might want to just raise your rod tip up. But being close to that bottom's not too bad. You will potentially lose a lot of things. So these rattle traps, but then also there's another one that I found. And again, I don't care what color it is as long as it's chartreuse. Right? Here's another one of those. And then they fish the same. A lot of, like the rattles and a lot of...
That's half ounce?
Yeah, half ounce. And so these will go down, and they'll go down deep enough, and you can catch them. So I caught one, this one, a couple of them, this one, and then, Rudy, did you catch one on the other?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we did catch, so yesterday we did catch all three different techniques. We were able to catch this small trout. And as when we were catching those smaller ones with the drop shot, I threw one back. It was legal size, but I threw it back because after catching those big ones, I didn't think it was legal. And then we did start keeping some others. And somebody tells me they eat a lot better than the big ones, but I don't care. I think
Tell them to cut them up in little pieces.
that's right.
Well, it's just a quick spot on doing that.
37 by a guy, Tesla, Shiner, and LeMaster. When you hear the reference of 52 MR, that is not the color.
I just cut it.
There's 21 colors, and they're all designated by a different color. 11 was the original one with the red head and the white body. It became known as the woodpecker. They stopped printing the numbers. They used to have the numbers on. I have mirror lures that still in a box from F.W. Woolworth for $1.89. The original mirror lures had white eyes. Now, big point I like to bring out, if you're using mirror lures, do not think you're saving monies by changing hooks, using other hooks. These are specific for the lures. They're maybe a 64th of an inch shorter on the shank, and they're made specifically for the lures. Mirror Lure does not recommend using a snap ring or swift. Some people do use it, they get by. 3 points, very important on the mirror lure. If you change the hooks, like I said, using the mirror lure hooks. If you look at a treble hook, it's basically two pieces of wire. One makes the two hooks. Then the other one that's soldered, that's the third hook. But if you ever change the hooks, you look, this is right out of the box. Rudy just gave me this. That added on or soldered hook has got to be out, hanging like that. All three of them have to be like that. There's very little action on a mirror lure, but this eye that you attach the line has got to be straight up and down, or 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. The other thing that's extremely important is the eye on the tail. That also has to be 12 and 6. I was very fortunate in the 70s. I went to a seminar. It was in Largo, Florida. Now they're out of Largo and Tampa, Florida. That's when they demonstrated the differences in changing hooks and not having the eyes straight up and down. I started using the mirror lures before South Shore Harbor was first built by the J. Ray McDermott hangar. We had permission to go back there. 5, 5.5, 6 pound trout was standard trout. 7, 8s. That, my personal best is 7.14. But that was all caught on mirror lures. So this is just FYI, anybody buying the mirror lures, all after using them, always check that back hook and that eye straight up and down and the eye on the head. Now, right away from a vision, with the eye from the top, right by the metal eye, that's a sinker. These sink about a foot every second. So if you're fishing the rocks, and you know the rocks are 5, 6, 7 feet, the depth, don't let it go past 5. Start reeling in, or you just donate $9 or $10. They're floaters. This is the 52. This is the twitch bait sink. The floater has the eye in the nose. So if somebody's trying to sell you used lures or like that, beware. If the eye is in the nose, it's a floater. Like I said, there's 21 different colors, and it all goes by numbers. Each number has a different number. This would be a 28, 52 MR 28, if it was stamped. They don't even put it on the back of the card anymore. All they put is sinking twitch bait. The other series, 7, is the floater. That's with the eye in the middle. 65 is a quick drop. 77 is even quicker. Catch 2000, we've all heard of that. That's a quick sink. 17M and 27 is the guy Devin who makes his videos. That's all made by Mirror Lure. Actually, recently Mirror Lure took over the Corkins, which originated from Paul Brown's lures from Texas. They still use them big time, but Mirror Lure has since then taken over. I haven't noticed a change in the makeup of the lure. Nothing has changed, but the big tip on the corky, if you do use it, is to bend the tail down. This way, when the poppy goes up, it comes down, and it has that curved motion as compared to being straight. It was just dull. So that's just some FYI information I've learned now since I'm 78 years old. Now it's going on 50 years. You know?
The other one I just heard the other day, the R stands for rattle. So 52MR means
Right.
rattle.
They first came out with a clear eye. It was always 7M, 7 Mirror Lure in the number. Or some people said it was for the red eye. That's BS. It's for the red eye that came out, the R and the rattler.
Yeah,
So, I mean, take it for what it's worth, but that's some information I always like to share to anybody and everybody. I mean, I have a tackle box that's designated to this. I have at least 80 to 90 mirror lures on it. It still have my $1.89 mirror lure in it.